again into my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you what to do with those gnocchi that we have prepared a few days ago. I'm sure you've all prepared them and they're ready to go in your freezer and you can't wait for the recipe. Obviously with gnocchi is very versatile, there's many things you can do. What I'm going to show you today is something quite simple in a restaurant, in the restaurant world, but maybe not something that you would do at home all the time. So come into my kitchen and I'm going to show you. For today's recipe we need prawns, so we got this beautiful raw king prawn here, which I got from a seafood shop. What I did, I peeled them, as you can see, removed the inside, and I kept the head separate because with the head we're going to make a nice, a beautiful nice broth that is going to give a lot of flavor to the gnocchi. For the broth we'll need echalot and garlic. We need some tomatoes. These one are older tomatoes that I had in the fridge. As you can see, they're not very nice, so they'll be perfect for this recipe. A little bit of fresh herbs, I had marjoram and parsley, and a little bit of brandy. Alright, so we start with the broth. As I said, we put a bit of olive oil in a pan. We make it quite hot. And then we're going to put our prawn head in there. So now what you want to do, you want to let them cook, get a nice color that will create a lot of flavor. Let's put a bit more heat onto that. Beautiful, you just let them go like this. Put a little bit more olive oil and we let them cook. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we have a little bit of brandy here. Be careful, if you have fire it will flame. It's not going to do a flame here because it's electric. So a little bit of brandy just to deglaze a little bit. You add the echalot and garlic, and you can see the prawns now, they have a nicer color. They got a little bit red, so they are cooking, beautiful flavor. You can smell it now. We let it cook a little bit. Have a little bit more oil. We cook the onion, the echalot and garlic a little bit more. So as you can see now, the prawns are nicely caramelized. The onion is starting to caramelize as well, so we're ready for the next step. We're just going to add the tomato. We add the tomato. We don't really need to cook this one off. And we're just going to deglaze now with water, cold water. Not too much. You really just want to cover. You just really want to cover the heads of the prawn. I had about, what's in here, 500 ml, so I probably added about 450 ml of water for this amount of prawn head. So not a lot, but they will give you a nicer flavor. And we're going to let this one cook for about 15-20 minutes. And in the meantime, we're going to prepare the sauce for the gnocchi. So next step, we're going to do the sauce. Before I do the sauce, you can see the stock here is nicely simmering. We're going to just add a little bit of fresh herbs. So I said marjoram and parsley. Gonna reserve a little bit for later for the gnocchi. See, it's nicely simmering. See the nice, it's getting a nice brown color. It's beautiful. It doesn't need to cook too long. As I said, maybe 10-15 minutes, and it will be nice. This is a simplified recipe from a bisque recipe, which we would normally make into a restaurant, but I just made a simpler version for home. So sauce. We have our pan on. It's nice and hot. We're gonna put once again a little bit of olive oil. You can go with a little bit of garlic here if you want. What we're going to put is zucchini. So we're going to do zucchini and prawn. So we're going to put our zucchini once the pan is hot. Yeah, that's a good amount of zucchini. A little bit of salt. Nicely, and we're just going to let the zucchini cook for about a minute. So before, when I was waiting for the sauce to boil, I cut the prawns just in little pieces like that. You can cut them whichever way you want, but I think little pieces like this will be nice and still give a bit of flavor. So we got our prawn here while the zucchini are cooking, and we got a little bit of white wine here as well. What we also have is some tomato. Peeled tomato, you should know how to do it if you watch my previous videos, which we're going to add in later. Okay, so now the zucchini, you can see they got a nice color. You can see they got a nice color. Dai. So now the zucchini are nicely cooked. As you can see, they're getting a nice brown color. What we're going to do now is adding the prawn. You want the fire to be quite hot when you do this. So we add in the prawn, good amount. Once again, pinch of salt. The stock is going beautifully there. We're probably going to let it go a little bit slower. So mix in your prawn. Let's turn this one down a bit. So mix in your prawn with your zucchini. Beautiful, look at this. The smell is coming up, is amazing. We're gonna let the prawn go a little bit, touch more olive oil, and then in a few seconds we can add a bit of white wine. Nicely cooking. And we're going to add the white wine now. Amazing. Let the wine evaporate a bit. And now the little trick to not overcook the prawn is to transfer them into a separate plate out of the pan. Let me do differently, otherwise I'm going to make a mess. Okay, just transfer them in here. And you keep this pan, you don't want to clean it. We're just going to keep it. And we can add our stock. So now the stock, you're just going to strain it. Just take it out, look at the color of this, beautiful. Okay, and we're just going to add it in there. So this one will be the base for our gnocchi. And if you have leftover of this sauce, what you can do, you can strain it and maybe freeze it. And next time you can do another recipe, like you can do, for example, a nice pasta dish with this one. It will come out very nice. Okay, so we leave it there, we let it reduce a little bit, and we're ready to cook the gnocchi now. Okay, so these one are our beautiful gnocchi, frozen. We're just going to put them in the water frozen. Obviously there's salt in the water as usual. Put a lot of water, otherwise they're going to stick to the bottom. You just put them in. Make sure the fire is strong so they boil up quickly. Obviously this one will cool down the water quite a bit because they are frozen. And I'm just going to wait until they start floating. It's going to take normally about a minute and a half. We put quite a big amount in there. With the sauce, I have here ready, the sauce ready to go. I got some spare stock which I strained out. As you can see, we didn't get much stock out of it, out of those prawns, but it's very concentrated. As you can see, it's like quite thick naturally quite thick. I didn't add any butter or anything, so that's nice and concentrate. The water is starting to boil, which is good. And I like to use a strainer like this to take the gnocchi out rather than throw them in a strainer in the sink, because they might squash all together. With this one they should come out and stay more separated. Alright, 2 more seconds. As you can see now the gnocchi are coming up all the way, so that means they are cooked. And we're just going to gently strain them out and put them in the pan. More fire there. Just take them out gently. And that's it. Very simple, little bit more of olive oil, which you know I love putting everywhere. We can add our tomato now. Start the meal like that. Just be gentle when you stir. Look at this. And can now add the prawn. The sauce is quite rich already, so we don't really need to add much more flavor. Taste is beautiful. A little bit of these herbs. A little bit more salt. And let's see, look at the color of this one. Wouldn't you want to be eating this? Nicely done like that, and that's it. We are ready to eat again.